Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be doing a debate. Is artificial intelligence a threat to humanity? So Emily and I are saying no, and Grace and Ellie are saying yes. So before we get started, make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, check out other debate videos and other videos as well, reaction, reviews, movies, and comment down below of any other debates that you guys want us to see. I mean, to debate about. And yeah, let's get started.
So maybe we should start with defining what AI is. So according to IBM, artificial intelligence or AI is technology that enables computers and machines to stimulate human intelligence and problem-solving capabilities. So some examples of how AI is already being used in our everyday life: opening your phone with Face ID. I don't know if anybody does that here, but that is one way artificial intelligence is being used. Social media, sending emails or messages. Sometimes you get those helpful little prompts. You might go, how, and then it might finish the sentence and go, are you? And voice assistants like Alexa and Siri. So my argument for this debate is that AI is not a threat to humanity. And in fact, it is us, humanity, that is the threat to humanity itself. Bold statement, but here we go. I'm going to explain what I mean. So it is our actions and behaviors that are the threats. So let's start with who created AI? Us. Who further developed AI? Us. Who keeps working on AI functions and implementing it into our lives? Us. So how can we say that AI is the threat when it is us, when we're the cause? Our constant need to innovate and get further technically advanced is what basically AI is. Now, I do want to say, yeah, there are pros and cons to using AI, but can we actually blame our AI when we created it? So some of the advantages of AI: it eliminates human error and risk. It's available always, unbiased decision making, which is really hard for some people, so it's really useful. Repetitive jobs no more, cost reduction, data analysis, and assistance in medical diagnosis. So early diagnosis of diseases and healthcare using AI that analyzes patterns and data to predict when or how a patient is likely to develop a specific disease is really useful. So that's just the pros of using AI. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't any drawbacks to AI, because there are. So some of them are reduced job opportunities for humans, ethical problems such as consumer data privacy, security risks, and a lack of human emotions. But it is simply down to us on how we use AI and what it is for. Like, I don't think there probably will be a few people out there that doesn't use AI, but ultimately, the majority of us do. In fact, I was reading this article from Forbes. It was an article from 2023, and they ended the article by saying, therefore, AI should not be used excessively, as too much automation and dependent on machines can create a very hazardous environment for the present human mankind and for the next generations to come. So at the end of the day, it is down to us how much we involve AI in our lives and daily activities. So in a sense, we hold the power. It's our choices. So it's not that AI is a threat to humanity, it is that we are. Our constant need to develop quicker than other nations or to find new things, not saying that any of that is wrong, but our constant need basically to just advance will always be our undoing, especially considering AI. Yeah, that's why I think AI isn't a threat to humanity, and in fact, it is us.
Wow, I just feel like I entered into a philosophy class. Jesus.
Sorry, Grace.
Yeah, would be proud. Beautifully said, Emily.
Okay. Well, I do see your point, and I do agree. Humans can be very corrupt and can be very dangerous. Sometimes I do think that AI can cause problems for most humans across the world. For example, it caused a job loss for lots of people. So if you think about it, in Tesco's, we always come to the checkpoint, and people usually scan our food. Now we go to machines and scan our own food. would that be the same in restaurants? Like we don't need to have a waiter to order food or do the check? I mean, how do you expect your children to have reliable jobs or have like good jobs for like part-time jobs for money? Like, what will that happen then? And one thing you mentioned, Emily, earlier is that you said something about lack of bias. Did you say? Right. Well, you're not exactly right there because I did a little research. There was something that happened in 2014 where Amazon engineers set out to automate to hire for a hiring progress with a orthogram designed to review CVs for employers. However, the tool they used to develop caused like a bias against women because especially for like technical roles such as software engineering positions, because what they designed was designed by males. So from their point of view, what they created can cause a bias towards what they are looking for. And another thing that is happening when they use AI for social surveillance. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. So if you think about in police departments where there are corrupt police officers or lieutenants, and we all know there's racism across the world, and sometimes these corrupt departments will use AI or for social surveillance cameras or anything to target like non-white communities and will try to increase the racial stereotypes. So this leads to the fact that for when they do facial recognition software, like do you know what if you know what that is, they will cause like a bias problem in the AI for to just if they're looking for a criminal, they will create a bias rhythm to target non-white people. And this will cause a massive problem if they're using AI to search certain types of people in their point of view instead of checking themselves and think the connections instead of like letting AI to decide is it that person or is it not. It's just focusing on what they were programmed to look into, if that makes sense. So I do kind of understand you, Emily, but I do think there is a flaw in what it depends on the person using AI and who is designing the software and whether if they have a bias, if they are biased, then they will put that into the AI and that will cause serious problems. Also, it can lead to lack of privacy because if you think about it, all our data from our phones, laptops goes to a software, I'm not sure it's called, but it's where people check out what you're looking for. So say like you're looking at like cooking or like food, then obviously you're gonna get like ads that comes up with like food or ingredients and stuff like that. Someone is looking into your data. And that can be a bit frightening, thinking that someone is looking into what you got, using that AI to see what you've been checking on, which is, yeah, not good. So while there is some like good parts about AI, I do think in the wrong hands, it can cause large problems.
Yeah, I think you made some really good arguments there about that Amazon story as well. I remember hearing about that. That was really, really scary to think about it, especially with all us being females as well. It's really scary to think about that's something that's happening in the world. And yeah, like I said, you made some valid points. But at the end of the day, who created AI? It was us. And it was created by us for these purposes. And it's because of us that all of this is happening. I understand what you're saying, like it's to do with like people create it and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's those people that are to blame. And it's not AI. AI is basically the tool. So we can't exactly blame AI because it's something that we've created. Whereas it's at the fault of those who've actually created, which is people like us. Well, not people like us. I mean like humans is what I was trying to say. I didn't mean people like us. I'm not saying any of us have done that. I'm just saying like humans, us basically. I feel like we as humans, we always need to find someone to blame, and it's just easier to blame AI than blaming ourselves for doing something which has good stuff, good points, good positives, but also consequences as well. Like you said, with privacy and stuff, that's really important. I mean, I think, what is it, in the last 5 years, like the word privacy is just all over the place. It's become such a big thing, and that's because of AI. But why is it because of AI? It's because of people wanting to know more stuff, make money and stuff, and that's because of us. So our constant need to develop and advance. So yeah, I understand. In a sense, it is AI that is the threat, but at the end of the day, it's not AI, it is us. Because if there wasn't AI, there'd be something else. And that something else would also be our problem because we created it. In the same way that, in a sense, global warming, it is our problem. We're the cause of that. A debate we did, I can't remember what the title was, but yeah. I'll let Tess give her arguments as well, because I feel like I've hogged this quite a bit.
It's all good. No, I think you pretty much said all the points that I've had as well. You just basically said it perfectly. I mean, just adding on to it, I feel like a lot of people think that AI is like a threat, like that they're gonna take over us, like robots, AI is just gonna replace us rather than, but you also kind of have to see it, they're not replacing, it's more like assisting because they kind of reduce our needs to do certain things, like certain jobs. Like, for example, like Gracie said, with the waitress and all that stuff. Like, yes, there is that problem of people losing their jobs, but at the same time, now that you have this AI, you're saving time, you're saving money, you're saving like a lot of things because they're
Yeah.
assisting you, but at the same time, I get where you're coming from. So it's not a replacement, but rather than assisting. And at the same time, like you guys have said, like you lose jobs, but then like Emily said, that we created them, so then it creates jobs for you to create AI. So you are getting jobs, so it boosts the economy at the same time, if that makes sense. So there's two sides about it, but I feel like it's not a threat, but more of like it's just something for us to be assisting, like robots nowadays we're getting assisted by, but they're not gonna be replaced. Or let's hope. But
Okay. Yeah, if I could just cut in there. So you're saying even though some people will lose jobs, we're also giving some people jobs for creating the AI, right?
mhm.
Is that okay? I can understand that there, but those people who do create AI or like giving people jobs for like to create the AI, some of those people aren't like engineers or like good with technology. So what happens to those who are not like that? What kind of jobs would they get? Unless AI takes over.
I mean, it's not like a limited scope of like jobs out there. Like there's different, like there's people who have one degree but doing something completely different. Like everyone, it's not like limited, and it's not like one sector is going to be completely taken over by AI. Like for example, doctors, they now use robots and machines to do surgeries. Like,
Yeah.
but then they're not going to be threatened by this new technology, but they're getting assisted by it. So it's not like a whole sector will be just wiped off because of it.
Yeah, but what if they created a robot, an AI robot that can identify cancer, or I can do small surgeries? You will get rid of those kind of doctors who do surgeries and who do cancer research.
Okay.
I hear
Okay.
surrender.
Let's go with the cancer one. We need that. Cancer is such a big problem. Any help that we can get for something like that would absolutely be beneficial. I get what you mean. There is a chance, like for example, we're seeing like you mentioned Tesco's, like there's less people serving tills now because it's all self checkouts. Like the amount of self checkouts that have grown within, I don't know, last 5 years. I didn't even know. It's just happened. Who knows when? But it's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, and the reliance on us to do stuff has become bigger. But yeah, I do understand that, but that is still not it's not technically the people that are losing their jobs. It's not their fault, but it's technically at a larger scale, it's a world problem. Because at the end of the day, it always happens, jobs always get lost, like sectors get wiped out, like chimney sweepers, like you bet you probably have like a couple now here and there, but that sector completely got wiped out. So it's our constant evolving thing
hold on,
that, you know, does
but
that.
chimney sweepers didn't get wiped out because of AI. They got wiped out because not many people use chimneys anymore nowadays.
Okay, sorry. Chimney sweepers is probably a bad idea. I was just trying to show, like, yeah, no, sorry, that was a very bad example. I can't think of an example off the top of my head. But what I'm trying to say is that we constantly change, and what we want and what we need is constantly different. You know, it's always just changing. So AI, like Tess said, it is there to assist us. And I mean, I have said that there are drawbacks to it, and Tess has also noted that as well, right? You understand that there are drawbacks as well. But at the end of the day, these drawbacks are not because of AI, they're because of us, because of how we've made AI and how we've put it out into the world and made it function. And, you know, at the end of the day, if we didn't have AI, things would be completely different. But with AI now, things are again completely different, but things are just constantly changing. Nothing's ever stays the same. It's always change. I don't think there's like this like quote or something like change is constant or something. I can't remember, there's some sort of quote, but yeah. Sorry.
Ellie, I feel like you haven't said anything.
Yeah. Go for it, Ellie. Support Grace.
I get what you mean. Obviously, like we've created this stuff. Like at the end of the day, it is always humanity that causes these issues. Like we are our own problem. We are our own biggest problem at the end of the day. But AI, despite being created by us, is also causing so many issues in the way it's being used, if that makes sense. Even without like the job sector, within the job sector quite actually, on the terms of an artist, I can put through that AI is like so much of our art is being used without our permission to teach AI about art to be used for future art projects instead of us being used for art projects. So Instagram released this new thing for their AI development. I don't know too much on it, so if you do want like the proper things, please go research it. Don't call me out on it in the comments, please. But yeah, they basically put it down so that everyone's account can be used to help teach and generate their AI. And through that, all the artist's account was being used to generate their AI, and it was stealing all of our artwork. And in the end of it, it's just going to come to our jobs being taken away, and illustrators, animators, graphic designers, all of it is just going to be created by AI. So that's a whole other sector wiped off. But also in the sense that it's quite mentally damaging as well. Not in the fact that loads of jobs are being lost, but when you're scrolling through social media, especially on like TikTok and stuff like that, if you look at a certain video for like a certain amount of seconds, your feed is then flooded through with all of these videos. And these videos, despite them trying to like be filtered out of the harmful kind of negative aspect, they really don't do a great job at that, to be honest. So you could watch one video on like just a very quite negative video that someone's put out there about mental health, and then all of a sudden you've got all of these things saying you should do this, you should do that, or like bad things about eating disorders and like mental health. And it's like our youth is very, very online. I cannot tell you a kid that I know that doesn't have a phone, isn't on TikTok constantly, isn't on YouTube constantly, and all of this stuff is just being fed straight towards them because of the AI generated content that they're watching. But in fact, it was just a 3-second video that they liked the Subway Surfer thing that was running on in the background. Like, and then all these messages are being put through because the AI hasn't been generated properly and stuff like that. So yeah, that's not a great one. Rain, if anyone wants to talk while I think of something else, that would be great.
I'll jump in there. I'll jump in. Yeah, valid point about the artist. I remember watching a video and this woman was just talking about that, and I can't remember what the scenario was, but she ended up finding out that that photo that AI generated was actually based on an image that someone else had created. So it is crazy. crazy.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, again, it
Yeah,
is
yeah,
our
yeah,
fault.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
We're just going back to that
Back
circle.
in
At
a
the end of
loop,
the
isn't
day,
it?
our fault. Yeah, it's a loop. It's a loop. AI is something we've created, so we blame AI instead of taking responsibility for what we created. I'm not saying we've all created it, because I mean, I don't think I've personally created it. Not that I
I'm
know
not
of,
that good.
anyway.
I'm not that good.
That's sad. We're blaming ourselves, but we have to. We have to take
Sad
responsibility
reality.
for what we do. Yeah, it's reality, isn't it?
Okay, let's just say if this is like science fantasy, let's say they actually created like a human robot, an AI robot that looks kind of like human, and we asked them to help us in assisting. So this is kind of linked to the TV show Humans. Humans. I'm not sure if you guys seen that.
Good.
It's
So
like
watch it if you haven't.
yeah, so it's like human robots, and they do jobs that not many people would do, so like nursing or like assisting anything. So I'm just thinking, like, while I do sympathize with like some like stories that involve like AI, like you know, like Vision from Marvel, like something like that, but I just think some, because AI they do have a brain of a human, they don't have emotions of a human. So if they decided, like in the near future, if someone decided to create AI in a human form, robot form, and decide to assist like humanity, but then they do things by what they program to do, but not doing it through sympathy or empathy or anything that relates to human emotions. Say like, if you program this robot to protect a child by all costs, and then someone accidentally hit the child, and then that robot like beats that person up. Kind of reminds me of that film Megan, though, that whole one, but it's really good though. So yeah, I just think, what I know you're gonna say, Emily, we made them, we did that, but it's good to make like small AI software and programs and robots. If someone stupidly did something like that, unaware that of the consequences, then even though if we made them for in goodwill, we made these AI robotics in hopes of helping humanity, but then it turns the tables around and starts going against us, that wouldn't technically be our fault, because if we made something just for good deeds and like in doing and hoping it will help humanity, but then it goes its own way, I mean, that's I just think like even a computer has maybe its own mind sometimes. Like I'm like I don't know how to describe it, but I think while we do share some blame, I I think sometimes it depends on the tool.
Yep, valid point. It kind of reminded me of the movie I watched, The Creator, earlier this year or last year, and also The Orville as well, which Grace, you've watched.
Oh, yeah.
There are so many examples of AI going bad in films. If
It
it
is.
ever gets to that point, why are we taking it any further? If anyone makes an actual robot to be helpful, someone needs to smash it immediately. Before that thing even gets connected to the internet, it needs to be blown up. Because oh my god, you've had so many warnings. Every other film that comes out is a warning to not do that. Especially recently, there's some house invasion one where it's like a Siri that's connected to their house, and I think that goes haywire as well. So it's like the please, I am begging you, don't take it any
basically
further.
we know what's gonna happen, but we're just not doing anything about it.
Oh my god,
No,
you just reminded me of something. I forgot what film or if it was a film, but I remember something like someone put this AI in the house to control, like make coffee or like pull up the blinds or turn on the TV.
It might be that one.
And then suddenly it goes haywire and starts trapping like the owners inside the house and saying like crazy things. So yeah. So I think when we create AI, we probably might do it for the benefit of humanity. But then it can turn against us because it may not have a soul or feelings like us. It does have a mind like us and probably way more intelligence. So that's what I think
It's
AI
just
could
going
be.
to decide that humanity is bad and it's going to kill us all.
Mm,
It itself is still the threat. Despite us making it, AI itself is still the threat to us. Like
mm,
this is going to be a really poor example. If I set something on fire, the flames and the fire is still going to be the threat to me because it's the thing that's going to do the damage, right? So
yeah.
despite us creating AI is still doing the damage. That makes sense.
Yeah, but if we go back, all the way back to the cause, it's us. To the creator. It is us in bold writing, big writing, splashed around. It is us. Yeah, I do agree, Grace.
It's the one doing the damage.
I do agree. Like, you know, AI was created with probably the concept of, you know, benefiting us, but you know, people are greedy. People just want things for their own benefits, and that is how we get to this stage where we're constantly worried about our privacy and get all these messages everywhere. We're constantly surrounded by AI without perhaps even realizing it. Things that we do in our everyday life that we're not even aware of is because of AI, which is crazy. We've become so dependent on AI as a society that if we were to lose it, we probably would struggle. Yeah, I think we've just gone back in a loop here. So
it's gonna keep on going in a loop. They always
Yeah.
do. Our debates always get stuck because someone will say one point and it's like, okay, we're back. We're back. We're back. We're back.
It was the same as the global warming one, wasn't it? Where everyone kind of
Yeah.
agreed.
we all just came to the agreement that it was us.
Well, then that concludes our debate. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment down below of any other debates you want us to see. To watch. To debate on. And stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.